everyone, it's Anja here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and today we are making this scarf. So what do you need for this scarf? Remember, I bought these from my Wish purchase. So I am using 2 balls of cotton acrylic. They are each 193 meters, so about 400 meters in total. You need a hook to go with it, and I am using a 4. Okay, so let's get started. I have here the inside of my ball, so that's a very good. And I am going to do a slip knot, whichever way you can manage to do your slip knot, that's fine. Okay. And I am going to make it a little bit smaller, insert my hook like so. Now I am going to do 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now I'm going to skip the first 3 chains. I'm going to yarn over, and into the 4th chain I'm going to insert into that point here where you see that I'm now picking up 2 loops, and you pull up a loop, then you yarn over again, you pull through 2 loops on your hook, you yarn over again, and you pull through 2 loops on your hook, and that is a double crochet done. I'm using American terms. Now we are going to do the same thing into the next chain here, and the same thing again into the last chain. That one is always a little bit more difficult to get into, but just easing it with your nail a little bit, that always helps. And we perform our double crochet. Okay, so that's our corner done. That's your first row done. Row number 2. Right, okay. Here we go. We are going to chain 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you are going to yarn over, and the same thing again, into the 4th chain you're going to do a double crochet. Into the next one you're going to do a double crochet, and into the next one. There we go. And now we are going to just have to tip this over, put this sideways together like this, and you're going to see you've got your 3 double crochets here. This is that chain. I'm just going to go into that opening for the chain. I am not going to try and find a chain to go into, because sometimes you just can't get into it, and I did a slip stitch. Did you see that? So I've now attached my 1 little square to this first one. Now you're going to chain 3, and now you're going to do 3 double crochets into this opening here where we did our slip stitch as well. So 3 double crochets. There we go. And we have done our second row. Same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double crochet in the 4th, skipping 3 chains, into the 4th, into the 5th chain, and into that last chain there. Then moving this one, just twisting it, finding 1, 2, 3 double crochets, the chain, and I just go into there and I do a slip stitch. Now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do another 3 double crochets into that opening there. Here we go. And we do another slip stitch into that next little square here that we've created. There we go. and another 3 chains and 3 double crochets along. So essentially you're working, yes, of course, corner to corner, okay, and this is now our 3rd row done. So the first row is just these stitches, then we have 2 little squares that we've made. This row we've made 3 little squares. So every row will become longer because you will be doing more and more squares each time. Now we are increasing on both sides. We're increasing here and we're increasing here. Our scarf is going to be long and narrow. Normally you would end up with a square here, and it will go bigger, and then you will start decreasing by decreasing on both sides. But for our rectangular square, we are going to be decreasing on one side and increasing on the other. So now we are going to continue doing what we are doing until we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes on the bottom. Okay, so I'll just show you one more round, one more row actually, then you will keep going until you have 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until 12, and then you will have to come back to the video because then I will show you how to continue so your scarf doesn't get any wider, but it will get longer. Okay, so another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, skipped into the 4th one. We do our double crochet and another one and another one. Now we twist our work up, find that hole here and do a slip stitch, chain 3. And this is quite, you know, some mindless crochet really. It's really nice to do this. Once you're off, it goes quite quickly. And of course in the beginning it goes really quickly because your rows are very short. Now for the scarf, of course, your rows will at one point just stay the same. So that's quite nice because you'll be able to advance quite quickly. If you are making a huge blanket like this, you will only ever do one really long row and then you'll start decreasing. So that's an advantage of that as well. So there we go. So another box to be made here, or another little square at least. 3 double crochets. There we go. So that's my row done. So that's my 1, 2, 3, my 4th row done. See? So you continue like this until you have at the edge here, until you have done 12 little squares. Alright, so I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 boxes, 12 squares at the bottom of my work here, and that is the width of my scarf. Okay, so here I am not going to be doing my 6 chains and doing another box here to then start my row. I am going to, let me just go back in the way I finished. So this is the way I finished. Now I am going to turn my work. This, I don't like it lying like that, so I put it around my hook to bring it to the back. And instead of doing 6 chains, I am going to do 3 slip stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so those are the first 3 chains I'm doing. Then I do 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. But this time I'm not creating a box here. I am already now ready to create that first box here of my row. So we go and we do our 3 double crochets like we are used to around that chain of that previous box. There we go. Okay, then we hook it into there with a slip stitch. There we are. See? So now this is the side where we are going to do that each time. Here we are still going to do what we have been doing, just creating another box with a 6 chain on top and then turning our work and coming back. When you get to here, don't forget you're not doing that. You are doing the 3 slip stitches and then straight away on top of here you will be doing your little square. Now make sure that you don't start making extra squares here because then it will grow. So if you want to, you can put a stitch marker here just to remind you that this is the funny side and that you will be not increasing here but just turning back and going up again. So I will see you now when you have finished your first ball, because remember we're making this scarf with 2 balls. So I have this much left, so I will be doing all of these colors and then I will meet you to add the other color onto that. So now it's just a matter of repeating what I have just shown you. I will see you later. Hi everyone, I am back and look at this. I have done a lot of colors, look at that, and I have now come to the end of my first ball. So I am now going to get started with the second ball, but unfortunately that starts with purple, but it's got that peachy on the outside, so I thought I would use this one, starting with the peachy and then working the colors out again. I think that's a good way of doing that, because otherwise if I start with the purple, we've just had purple, there we just had purple as well, but then it's going to do the, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can find the outside. There we go. Okay, so this one is going to twirl around, but never mind. And the way I attach the next ball of yarn, some people worry about doing that. I just keep things really simple. I hold them together, I do a knot, and I tug it, and that's it, and I just keep crocheting. Make sure that these ends are long enough so you can sew them in. Okay, if you have them this long, it's just silly to be able to sew them in. You can't sew them in, okay? Make sure they're long enough, and then also you can sew them in quite a way so they're nice and secure. To me, wherever this knot lies is fine, okay? So keep it simple. Right, so let's do our slip stitch here, and let's keep going. See, I can feel the knot is coming up, so it came through with also the bits that I'll need to sew in. So I'll just leave that there. I do my stitch, and I think that is fine. Let me just show you. See, it's at the base of a stitch. Once you've sewn this in, one strand to this side, one strand to that side, it will be fine. You won't even see where that knot lies, okay? I'm not worried about that. I do it like this all the time. So I will now see you when you are ready to start squaring off your scarf. So you will have to work until nearly the end of the ball, but you have got to make sure you have enough yarn left to do this amount here. Hi everyone, I'm back and look at this. So we started here, well, we started like that actually, and then I worked my way all the way through there. This is where I met you again when my wool finished, my ball was ended. I attached it. I have in the meantime sewn it in as well, so that's gone. And I then continued until I am now here. Now this is well into my penultimate color, right? So what have I done? I just wanted to be sure. When I was here, I was thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to know exactly where to start decreasing? Because of course, if you're making a square blanket in corner to corner technique, what you do is you have your wool that you're going to be working with, you divide it in two, and that is for the increase part. Once the half of your wool is finished, you then start on the other half, and that's for the decrease part, because of course it's a square and you're going to be in the middle when you have to start decreasing, and you're going to use exactly the same amount of wool on the other side. Here it's slightly different, of course, because I've been making sides and I've been making a long version of this. So what did I do? I started again from the other side of the ball. So I found the end and I just started working. Okay, yes, I'm going to have to unravel this, and this has been for nothing that I've done this crochet, but it is going to serve a purpose, because now look, if I put this together, I can see that this is the time for me to start decreasing. So I haven't done a whole row here. I think probably this is not enough. So I'm just going to start decreasing now. I might have a little bit more left here. You know, I might finish about here, because obviously there's something there. You know, I've got some more here. But at least this way, I know that this is now for me the time to start decreasing. So there's a tip for you. I know this will take some time to do. It took me what, an hour or so. You know, crocheting, TV. You know, it wasn't a hardship to do, but it has given me a really good idea of where I'm supposed to be starting to decrease. Right. So that's a tip for you there. Well, I hope it will work. Anyway, so this is the way it fits in. Look. Fits in. I've got two left, so that's fine. I'm going to start decreasing here, so I'm going to do my usual of not increasing. When I get here, I'm going to not increase. So I will start this off with you, and then I will meet you there, and then we will see where we are. Right, so I've finished here. I'm now going to do that turn where I don't make a bigger row. So slip stitching, and this way it's given me a good idea of the amount of wool I will have left. Basically I will have a little bit left, I think, but not too much. So I know now that when I get to my top here, I will be not increasing anymore, but I will be decreasing there as well. So now all I have to do is, keep unraveling. I will see you at the end of my round here. So I've come to the end of my round. I am now going to here do that slip stitch. And instead of doing another one here, because obviously that's not what we want to be going down, I am, or decreasing anyway, I am now going to do my turn, get entangled, do my slip stitches back, So 3 slip stitches, going back, there we go, and now I do my 3 chains, and there we have made the corner. So if we just check to see that what we are doing is right. So now this is our bottom edge of our scarf, and now we're going to fill up this bit here. So this now, instead of doing the 6 chain, we have done that 3 slip stitches and the 3 chains, and we turn and we do the same thing again as before, but this time you will feel, and I'm just going to pull my work out here, this time you will feel that each time your row will get shorter. So in the end, that doing that little triangle will get quite quickly done. There we go. See, so this is the triangle we now have to fill up with this. So we're going to have to repeat this one, but onto the scarf. I will see you at the end here. So once again, I'm ready for my slip stitch. I'm going to turn my work, do my 3 slip stitches here. So yes, this scarf is nearly finished. I will be going to the park in a minute because it's reasonable weather, and I will be doing my photo shoot there. Right, I'm also going to do, I think, a video on how I do the photo shoots, so look out for that as well. Okay, so we've got the 3 done. Yeah, we've got our chains, the 3 double crochets, and off we go again. And yeah, indeed, my row was already shorter, okay, as you can see, look. So I am going to keep going like this, and I will meet you at the end. So this is where I am at the moment. As you can see, the triangle that I've got left is bigger than the triangle that I have to do. And to be honest, you know, that's how it's going to work out, because obviously, you know, with how many rows and the width and everything, you can't get that completely right. But I'm glad that it's a little bit bigger than what I am needing. If it was like this, you know, if you'd have now this left and you'd still need to do that, would be, you know, not good. But in my situation here, I know I'm going to have a little bit of purple left, but that's fine. Okay, I've done my best to make sure that I've got, you know, the right amount. I've started decreasing at the right time to have a minimum left over, and that's the main thing, isn't it? So yes, it's going really quickly now. Look, on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only had to do 5 little squares here, so it'll be only 4 here, and so on. So I will see you at the end. So I have just finished my penultimate row. This is going to be the shortest row, right? So we're here, 1, 2, 3, the last row. No, not in the viewfinder. Look on your work, that will make it easier. 1 and 2. Can you hear I'm happy? And 3 and a slip stitch, and yes, we have finished the scarf. Okay, and this is the amount of yarn I have left over, which is fine. I don't think it would have I would have been able to do a whole row before decreasing with that. So that's the way it goes. That's fine. So yes, I've got to now cut this off. Yay! Cut it off and pull this out and sew it in. So considering this was the wool from Wish, I think I made a reasonable project with it. Do give me a thumbs up if you like it, please. Okay, so let me now measure this for you so you know how long it is. So we'll start over there just to give you an idea. And we keep going, keep going. Here we are. Right, so that's about 140 centimeters. There we go. Okay. And let's see how wide it is. That's just about 20 centimeters. Okay. So I think that's a good size. I wanted to make something that would use up this wool in one project, and I think this is quite useful. It's a lovely cheery scarf, I think, with the colors. It just looks really nice. And with this being double and then the colors coming back out, I think it works really nice. And the thing is, it's like an optical illusion almost, because people will think, yeah, you've made it like this, but you are changing colors mid-row, so it's quite intricate if you don't know how you've made it. But of course, I think it worked out really well with the colors in the, you know, sort of the patches like this. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I just have to sew in this one end because I did the other ends, and I will be going to the park, so I will see you there.